Actually, I reckon around at least 50% of my client success happens before they've even opened the first module. It happens on the breakthrough call, what we call a clarity call, when they say, I'm in. And I reckon that moment when they make that decision, that is, responsible for at least half of the transformation they experience. I think a lot of that is from Russ's genius, honestly. I think he just intuitively created COD a certain kind of way because it just works on human beings, which he's very good at understanding. I'm Sharif Joynson, and I am the founder of Led by Love. It is a program for women that helps them find or create a happy, healthy spiritual partnership, even if they've had a lifetime of unhealthy relationship patterns. I was a men's coach for a long time, men's self-development, which inevitably, we encountered their number one area of challenge, which a lot of the time for most men is relationship. So then that got me into the sort of relationship space. And that coincided with me healing my own personal relationship stuff. And what came about was I started writing a book for women, giving an insight into the minds and heart of the emotionally avoidant man, basically, i.e. like my former self, an avoidant in recovery. And that book started to get a lot of traction. What I realized was there was an opportunity here to really help people in a way, in a much more profound way than a book ever could. Self-help becomes shelf-help. You buy the book and then that's it just sits on your shelf, right? And I didn't want that for people. I wanted them to actually change their lives, change their patterns. And so it seemed that the way to go about that was to turn it into a program. Yeah, that's what happened. And so the book never came to be. Instead, I halted it and turned it into a program instead, and no regrets. So I was definitely getting good results for clients, but it took a lot more effort and energy on my part, a lot more time, and I was doing a lot of one-on-one stuff around London and in different locations of London and different clients doing different types of coaching. So I was running around, exhausting myself, and also what I didn't really appreciate until I created this program was the power of the group coaching. The logic is if it's one-on-one, you get more of me, therefore it's more effective. In this case anyway, it isn't. The group nature of the program is a part of what makes it so powerful compared to one-on-one work before. As well as running around doing the coaching, I also had day job stuff that I was doing to pay the bills and all this kind of thing, and I was always torn between how much time I had and the safety of the regular work, but it's low paying and it isn't really what I want to do. It's not really what I'm called to do. Handed in my notice, and I didn't really have much of a plan. I just knew that I needed to really get into high ticket coaching, which I'd already was trying to do by myself. But like I said, I was aware of Russ, and I think on some level I'd already decided clients on demand is going to be the one. I discovered Russ the same way my clients discover me, which I was scrolling on Facebook, then an ad pops up that speaks exactly to me. I clicked on that ad, I registered for the webinar, and it blew my mind. Yeah, I just knew I had to do it. I'd already sort of made up my mind. I said to the enrollment coach, this is going to be the easiest call you've ever made. I'm already in, and you don't have to take me through the whole thing. Let's just do it. And he said, yeah, that's great. So let's start with the most important question. What's not working in your business? And he took me through the whole thing anyway, because that is the best way to serve the client. And what I've come to appreciate now is, while I had already decided I'm in, he hadn't decided that I was going to be let in. I have the exact same process for our program. Is that breakthrough call is just as much for us to see if you're a good fit for the program as as you finding out about us. A lady who came into the program just out of an extremely unhealthy relationship, and more than that, a lifetime of relationship patterns that made it difficult for her to really feel loved or connected with literally anybody. And she had a whole backstory that was very heartbreaking, honestly. And she became one of our successful clients who we interviewed. On that interview, I had the notes that I took from our clarity call, and I recounted to her, I said, what it is that you really want, what your heart has always yearned for, and she was very descriptive, and so I read it back to her. And I asked her, so how many of those boxes have you now ticked in your life? And the way she said, all of them. I mean, I get emotional thinking about it, but yeah, she deserved it, you know, and she said every single thing. I've got it, and yeah, and I'm happy to say she's not the only one, but she stands out. Yeah, and one thing to add on that was from that relationship, there is now another human being that has been brought into the world because of that, and yeah, amazing. What I'm acutely aware of, increasingly so, is the ripple effect. We help to transform one woman's relationship and therefore her life, but then what about their kids, if there are kids there? What about the other people that affects, or the inspiration that gives to the people in their lives? I just wish there was a way for me to like visually see the ripple effect that our work has, and yeah, that would be so cool, but I can imagine it anyway. They genuinely can solve a major life or business problem, as Clients on Demand say, and if their genuine intent is to serve more than it is to just get rich, and there's nothing wrong with that, but if your primary thing is to serve people out of some sort of hell that they're stuck in, into something that they didn't think was possible, and you know you can do that, let Russ and COD show you how to reach those people so that you can do that. And if the more that you align with that heartfelt intent and that purpose, the more you'll align with Russ himself, and therefore you'll find a way to, yeah, experience the success that many of us have now thanks to COD.